Genji, a cybernetic ninja capable of flanking the enemy team and catch them by surprise. Love him or hate him, you still have to admit he's one of the coolest characters in Overwatch. And it'll be cool if we can have his physique or his agility, at least humanly possible, right?
I need healing.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Eric here. So one of my favorite video games, Overwatch, is having a first anniversary, and I thought it would be fun to make a video based on one of the characters in Overwatch, Genji. Now if you played Overwatch, you know that Genji relies heavily on his cyber agility, being able to dodge and flank the enemy team at will and escape at tough situations. Now it makes sense because he's a ninja and it's a video game. But wouldn't it be cool if we can learn from him? Or at least humanly possible anyway. When I decided to make this video, I had to take Genji as a character and break him down to find out what makes him him. So I decided to primarily focus on his mindset and his practicality. We know that Genji is a cybernetic ninja, or a ninja with cybernetic prosthetics as he would like to call it. And he is also trained by Zenyatta when he lost his sense of self after taking down the Shimada clan. So I'm going to show you how to get his physique, or at least close to, as humanly possible anyway. Now before we continue, just as a disclaimer, you should always follow your own pace. The purpose of this video is to inspire fitness into your lifestyle, and there are different ways to do it. This is just my interpretation. Now as a prerequisite, you should be able to do all of these exercises. But if you don't, not to worry, I'm here to show you how it's done. We'll begin with the squats. Now if you have this posture or anything similar to this, make sure you fix them out first until your spine is nice and straight. Form is important and it is the key to all exercises. Once that's done, your feet should be shoulder width apart, and go ahead and sit down or squat down until your thigh is parallel to the ground. When you're there, stand back up. A good tip is to always look forward, keeping your spine nice and straight, and remember to breathe. Squat is one of the 5 fundamental movements which you will need to master and be comfortable with, as Genji always keeps a low profile and knees bended at all times. Well, unless he's doing emote, right? Once you're comfortable with the squats, go ahead and do 20 of those, and if you can't, break them down to 2 sets of 10. Next, we will do the Australian pull-ups. For this, you will need to find yourself a lower bar similar to this and place your hand on the bar, palms down to the ground, and then slowly lean backwards. If you don't feel comfortable leaning like this, you can go ahead and do a modified version, but eventually you will have to strive for a complete lean with good form. While you're in this form, go ahead and pull yourself to the bar, 20 repetitions like a rowing motion while focusing on the lats. Again, like the squat, if you cannot do 20, break them down to 2 sets of 10. When you do it on a low bar, challenge yourself to increase the height till it's over your head, and you can progress to a jump pull-up. Now this exercise is also one of the 5 fundamental movements and is a progression for Genji's and Hanzo's wall climb. After the Australian pull-up, you can go ahead and proceed to inchworm. Inchworm will engage your core endurance and give you that lean look when practiced consistently. Now to do one of these, simply find a position where you have plenty of space and keep your feet shoulder width apart. While maintaining your upper frame, place both of your hands to the ground and crawl to a push-up position like so. Then step forward while maintaining a straight leg and keep the bending to a minimum. Just like the name suggests, inchworm. Now do 15 of these. Once you're done, you can move on to the next exercise, side lunges. When doing a side lunges, begin with a wide stance, not too wide but not too close either. Once you're done, drop to one side of your feet like so, raise the sole of your other feet as if you're trying to stretch your calf. More on that on the next stage. Go as low as you can while maintaining the upper frame nice and straight for 10 repetitions each side. Now that's just the foundation of your journey to Genji's physicality. If you find this extremely difficult to do, make sure you master this first before moving on to the next stage. Now after you're done mastering all the previous exercises with one set, you're ready to move on to the next stage. And even if you're in the next stage, you can use the previous exercises to warm yourself up. And after you've done those warm-ups, you can begin with jump squats or the plyometric squats. 3 sets of 10, jump as high as you can and land silently. Yes, silently. When you land on the ground, absorb the shock of the fall and reducing the audible fall to the minimum. Remember the calf stretch on the side lunges? Well, this is where you will need it, as you will land on the ground silently. After mastering the Australian pull-ups, you can graduate to a dip to negative pull-ups. This, combining with a silent fall, will be essential if you plan to wall climb and fall off safely on the other side of the wall. Not to mention, it looks bad AF. First, get on top of the bar by either using a low bar or doing a pullover like so. Dip down from the bar and slowly drop down under the bar. If you're afraid to start up high, you can find a low bar and start from there. Eventually, you can practice from a flat surface. Now that you learn how to safely drop down to the ground, it's time to learn how to get back up in the first place. Pull-up will give you the necessary strength to get higher to the bar. Start with the low bar and master the regular pull-ups. Now this is where your Australian pull-ups must be strong, because if you haven't mastered it yet, it's more difficult to do the plyometric pull-ups that way. This may take you a while to learn, as it takes people weeks, sometimes months or even years to learn this, but always remember to follow your own pace. With maximum effort, mindset and consistency, you will get there eventually. Now Genji has the ability to deflect most of the enemy projectiles away from him and back to his enemy, which would make sense that he has enough arm strength to return enemy projectiles. So while we cannot do that yet, a handstand would be a good exercise to strengthen both arm strength and the balancing muscles. You can practice handstand by doing a kick up to a handstand. You can use a wall like so to practice, but bear in mind that practicing long term on a wall at this position will cause a long-term bad habit in the future. So try to face this side of the wall instead. And when you feel comfortable enough to lean away from the wall, go ahead and hold as long as you can. With practice and consistency, you'll get there eventually, just like the pull-up. As a ninja, Genji probably learned Namba Aruki, which is a standard walk for ninjas back in the day. Now in the modern world, we walk by twisting our upper body and hips unnecessarily. The principle of Namba Aruki is to walk the same side with arms, hips moving as one, thus reducing the waste of energy. Now according to Japanese Wikipedia on Namba Aruki, you'll get longer lasting stamina by twisting your body to the bare minimum, stable posture and reduced twists in the upper half of your body, more power by moving one arm, hips and a leg at the same time, like the wooden pole used by sumo wrestler in training. And the last one, which is less strain on your body by climbing steep slopes or stairs. Now in Japan, there are a number of professional athletes who train themselves under the principle of Namba Aruki and ended up doing pretty well. So maybe we can learn from them. And as a final bonus, here's Genji's meditating emote. You can replicate his type of training by having a 5-minute to 10-minute meditation or breathing exercises. I hope you find this guide useful. If you want to integrate to your workout, feel free to do so. Now I know this video barely scratched the surface of what Genji can do, so if you have any suggestion, go ahead and comment below. Don't give up, especially if you feel you are at your limit. Simply rest and get back to training the day after. As Zenyatta would say, repetition is the path to mastery. This video is an easy to moderate difficulty, and there is a long way to go in order to get closer to Genji's physique or ability. That's all from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Happy anniversary, Overwatch team. Like if you liked the video, dislike if you thought it sucked, comment and subscribe. And remember,
Genji is with you.